Come on out and get swabbed.
This school year, 20 universities across Canada are competing in a race. But at this finish line, the reward is knowing you might save a life. No, it's not quite giving blood or donating an organ. It's registering to find out if your stem cells match someone battling a blood disease. Over 2 years ago, this nationwide challenge, Get Swabbed, was birthed by McMaster University student Dustin Shulman.
This started in the summer of 2009. I was reading the newspaper one day and I found the story about a man who was looking for a bone marrow match. And he was around the same age as my dad. His kids were the same age as me and my sister, and same ethnic background. And I thought, in any other lifetime, this could be my family in the news story.
Dustin soon realized there was no better place for him to recruit participants than right here on campus.
And what we do here is we're working with the One Match Stem Cell and Marrow Network to help recruit more registrants to the National Bone Marrow Registry. Do you have your health card on you?
And he received a positive response from a range of students.
It's not that long, and it's always a good thing to always pay it forward and help others in need.
It's important really to donate and to contribute towards our medical system, because you never know, one day you might even need the same services that we're here to provide now.
There are over 950 Canadians who are currently waiting for a bone marrow transplant, and for many patients it's only one match outside the family which can usually help them.
Step one to finding out if you're someone's stem cell match is registering. But to do that, you must get swabbed. And it's as easy as that.
When I learned how I can help simply by getting a cheek swab, I realized if it was that simple, why can't more people be doing this across the country?
Lillette Raffinian, coordinator of donor management at One Match, has been overseeing the Get Swabbed Challenge Canada-wide.
Stem cells are unspecified cells that can mature into blood cells, can mature into red cells, which carries oxygen, white cells, which helps fight infection, and platelets, which helps stop bleeding. So once they need a stem cell transplant, the chances of them to find a match within their family is only 30%. So when they can't find a match within their family, they rely on the unrelated match for them. So your stem cells are actually found in your bone marrow, in your circulating blood, and umbilical cord of a child after birth. So depending on the need of the patient, the transplant center is going to determine what kind of stem cell process that they would want to do with the patients.
While One Match encourages everyone between the ages of 17 and 50 to register, Raffinian stresses the growing need for cultural diversity amongst donors.
So right now, we have about 77% composition of Caucasian into the registry, and about only 23% coming from different ethnic background. One Match is making that concerted effort to really engage, especially young, male, diverse donors. They happen to give the optimum results post-transplant for patients. There's only a few donors that will actually have the chance to donate their stem cells. But you joining the registry really gives hope to many of these patients, and you actually could be the very match of this patient.
Patients like 7-year-old Alicia Dykstra are yet to find their match, but her family's consistent faith in Jesus Christ is what keeps the Dykstras strong.
It was approximately 3 years ago. She was starting to get some leg cramps and night sort of rages that she would wake up with, and we weren't clear what was going on. So Karen then took her to the doctor, and she was limping a bit. So the doctor said, "We better just do a blood test and see what's going on." So then shortly within a day or two, we found out that she had leukemia.
Alicia was taken to McMaster Children's Hospital the next day, and so the journey began.
Some results came back that said she has a rare form of leukemia called Philadelphia chromosome leukemia. The only cure would be through a successful stem cell transplant.
After that, her sister Amy would have been the best candidate for a match. So they tested Amy and she wasn't a match, and they tested Mark and I and we weren't a match. So then what they did was look in the National International Stem Cell Bank, the registry, and they still didn't find a match. So that's when we started Operation Alicia. A friend of ours named Jim Gilly, who goes to our church, he started Operation Alicia as like Project Alicia. Let's try to get more people in the registry to make sure Alicia finds a match.
The quest to find Alicia's match in the One Match Stem Cell Registry was ongoing for 3 to 4 months when doctors decided to look into an alternative.
So they called us and they said, we have not a perfect match, but a 5 out of 6 match. And that's the best that we have right now. So that's what it's going to be. So we had to make a decision and pray about that and say, we got to go for that, or do we, wait? But they really didn't think there would be anything else. So.
Over 40 days later, the transplant was deemed unsuccessful, and as doctors grew hopeless, the Dykstras stayed faithful.
And so they were actually meeting with us to say, okay, what's the next step, because it's not taking. And then we called our church, and they started a 24/7 prayer for her. The next day, after the prayer had started, they came and said, oh, something's happening. And we're like, it's a miracle. She started getting better, but they did some testing and found out that actually the cord blood transfusion didn't work. But again, miraculously, a God thing, she was doing well. And so here we are, 2 years later. And and she's been doing great.
Despite Alicia's healing, the Dykstras firmly believed God was using their family to find ways to help those in need.
We can make awareness for people to join One Match, the stem cell registry. So there'll be more chances for people to find a match.
Operation Alicia is almost a ministry too. It's sharing the story of she's beaten the odds that people would say, but it's God who's done that in our mind, and that's part of the miracle that we see with her. That God's given us the ability to enjoy spending more time with her, and that's now our give back to say, God, use us as a family.
Because Alicia's ordeal involved receiving blood transfusions, an umbilical cord blood transplant, and a stem cell transplant search, Operation Alicia works tediously to raise awareness for all of these needs. On top of it all, Alicia's 11-year-old sister, Amy, volunteered to raise money for cancer research with friends in her spare time.
Each spring we have a garage sale, and me and my friends make necklaces and bake tons of stuff, and we have a bake sale and like a little craft show type thing, and all that money goes to cancer research, and we put most of that money to sick kids, and so it really makes us happy doing our baking and our creativity for a good cause.
Over the years, the response received by their community has been incredible. Here at a blood clinic in Guelph, Mark expresses his family's gratitude for the continued support from the Guelph Police Services in a presentation.
I just want to say thanks for the partnership that you've done with us in the past year.
Even Alicia had a few words of her own to describe how she feels about the help people are providing for these causes through Operation Alicia.
I feel like it's happy and they'll save lots of people's lives.
Not only is this 7-year-old compassionate, but in the midst of her treatment at only 4 years old, Alicia decided to have a personal relationship with Christ.
There was one night with her medicine and that, she had very strange sleeping patterns and went to bed very late, and she and I were up watching, it was a Billy Graham special, Christmas special, and Stephen Curtis Chapman was on talking about his little daughter that had passed away. And we were watching that, and through that, Alicia decided, I want to ask Jesus into my heart. So she did that, right?
To demonstrate just what Alicia's gone through, her big sister Amy models bravery beads that paint a symbolic picture.
For each of her procedures she gets a bead. So like she had a nose tube, so these are her nose tube beads, her echocardiogram, her leg needles. And so all of the beads on this necklace mean different things from her treatment.
To help other individuals who still need stem cell transplants to combat blood disorders, the Dykstra family has a message for you.
Well, first of all, go to One Match, www.onematch.ca, and if you're eligible within the criteria, sign up on the National Registry. So do that now.
But God knows, and it's His plan. And He will make our paths, right, as the song we sing, He will make your paths straight.
And if you've already been swabbed or aren't eligible, spread the word to save a life. From Guelph, I'm Renee Davidson, 100 Huntley Street.